What I'm talking about is a failure of the female, the modern day woman, to stay married, not even get married, not even be able to maintain a relationship or even start a relationship with a man. Then we have what we had in Dallas, Texas, with the uh, singles mixer, where the men didn't show up. And we had a woman on Instagram who had, I think, 1.3 million followers on Instagram. And she held a meet and greet, and no one showed up for her. And they, she was a melanated uh, woman as well, or female, or female. So what I'm here right now, this live, this video, is to talk about how since everything has failed them, they don't want to come around and be submissive and do what they should do and be respectful of themselves and their man and not think that they have all this time in the world to later after the carousel ride get a man and play these games and etc etc. Whoa. Now they feel that outside of the Instagram, the Twitters, that they can't even get a guy to even approach them or to, excuse me, to even be attracted to them. That they would resort to this TikTok new phase called, or fad called vabbing. So instead of like dabbing, like you take a dab, they would take their two fingers into their vag and use the scent around their bodies to attract a man or mate, or for a man to be highly attracted to him. Now, anybody know about this kind of stuff? That's another form of witchcraft or bitchcraft, right? Well, you know what women would take their, cis women would usually take their, not only vaginal fluid, but take their period, blood, put that in some like red kind of food, coloring, and disguise that and use that to make their man always look at them. Always focus on them. The man won't leave the house barely, as far as have another woman or want to look at another woman while she's out of town doing her thing. He will only stay with her for a long amount of time, right? So those kind of things won't work on the man of God, but this is the kind of things he'll do. And what I'm saying was, I'm gonna tie all this around to monogamy. We're gonna get there, but staying, with this the vabbing thing, it's like, dang, it has gotten that bad that your attitude stinks so bad that for a guy to just, all you got to do is walk outside and men will be attracted to you. Men will buy, but not anymore because of your rebellious nature, of you being exposed in the games you're playing. The manosphere has exposed, and even other women who are pink pilled have exposed, or bring the pink lessons, let me put it, have exposed what's going on. The games that the female been doing for years and why no one want her, and even primarily the modern day woman. And the laws of Judah are haughty, Isaiah 3 going to it. But instead of, the Bible says, with that smell down there, instead of sweet smell, he's gonna give you stink. Instead of long hair, you're gonna have scalp baldness. Instead of just fancy clothes, you can be proud and look down. I got all this money. I don't need a man. It's gonna be rent. And look where we at right now in the economy. If you think you don't need a man, well, hey, go ahead, keep on. So instead of submitting to God, or the person who was made in the image and likeness of God, which is man, what Eve did in the garden goes back to the garden. She thought if she ate this, and though I know it's really having sex when you're eating from the fruit. But with the serpent, that she would be like Adam, and she would be better than Adam. But what happened? She was brought even lower. She was more equal at that time, but she still had to respect Adam. So instead of respecting Adam as the husband, she thought, well, I can eat this. And naive was Eve. She was naive. Eve was naive. Ate from this, and then we saw what happened. Adam, come on, eat from this too. I see, I'm not dead. She didn't realize she was going to die later. That's what the Bible said. Through her comes death. So she using forms of death, magic, witchcraft to enchant or to trap men in and men's souls. Is the way of adulterous woman, is the way of a harlot woman. All right? So there's dead bodies everywhere she go. That's when anytime, these women, instead of making love, they have sex, or excuse me, they smash. Oh, bang, gang, bang. Oh, we beating it. She abuses herself. So she doesn't have nothing to offer nobody else after being beat up. The box been beat up for so many years, have nothing left. She has no intimacy left. So she can't hold a conversation. She don't have to bring nothing to the table. So all she has is, well, dang, I can't start a conversation. I don't have this to offer. Oh, I could just use my scent and that'll bring them. Because when men start to talk to these women, you see that it's nothing there. There's nothing there. Like, what is there? There's no charisma. There's no personality. There's no, hell, even not a soul, not a heart. There's like just empty, an empty vessel. So you have to go to that point to using your vast. Like, imagine men say, I'm going to use my sweaty balls and put that on me to attract women. No, what happened? Just regular cologne, regular perfume. What happened to that? And hopefully you take a bath before you do that, because you know what I'm saying. If you're gonna use that to attract the person, but even with that, okay, hey, Nicole Morgan, yeah, facts, okay, yes, yeah, Nicole say facts, so yeah, it's facts. I mean, the days that we're in, let you know we in the last days, like all women had to do, like back in my day, like the girls, like I met. They smelled good. Cis women, like, they were still hood, they was in the street, but just their natural scent, I was attracted to. You smell like you just came out the shower. The girls I dealt with, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, there were some here and there who had that, but yeah, like all you gotta do is hopefully if you don't have yeast infections, you eat certain things, eat like you're supposed to, and you take a shower, come out the shower. I mean, that's enough to have a dude on you. You all around her waist, like trying to get with her. You don't need all of that, but you need all of that if you are ugly. And what I mean by ugly, ugly. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. You don't. You are you do. You gotta love yourself. ugly. Say it with me. Say it with me, modern woman. You gotta love yourself. Love yourself, all right, and everything gonna be all right. Like the devil got people into this thing of I don't need love, and love is this and love is that, and what's love? I just need money. I don't need. And at the end of the day, that's what everything revolves around. I told people like I might upload that video I did on Facebook years ago. I gave like some major warnings on that, and one warning I gave was that anytime you live in society and more people are being divorced and they are being married, or you get to a point where people are not getting married, and now we're at a point where people not even don't. It's all hookup culture, no relationships. People don't even value having a relationship. That the economy was going to go bye bye. I think this is like 2019. But I say, anytime you live in a culture of society where people do not, because marriage is business. Marriage is business on a spiritual level, but it's also business on a physical level, metaphysical and a physical level. All right, you have two or even more people coming together in one family nucleus and making things happen. All right. So when people decide to be completely, and I know it's kind of ironic because I am an introvert myself, but when you're just completely introverted, or not even introverted, you're just completely like, I just want to do me, help everybody else, right? It's about my pleasure, I'm not about trying to work nothing out with nobody. It's all about I'm gonna get mine and I'm good, right? I'm not going to have any teamwork, any social skills, anything like that. Everything goes down. Because we all connected to each other. We all feel each other's energy. People's energy can affect other people. All right. If you get a group of people and they can think about something, meditate on something, you will see the energy of that place change. Like if you got a bunch of rowdy or negative people, a bunch of positive people, that energy of that place will change. Plants pick up on it. They did science experiments on water. Same thing with water. The molecular structure of the water, will change. The plants will grow better when they play music that played at a certain frequency. When they play like heavy metal and all that stuff, low vibratory frequency, the plants start to die out. So everything is energy, is vibration. All right. So ones have to vibrate higher. We at a place we got to vibrate higher, and we're going to that, right? But you have, women out here and even men, but certain women out here who are just like dead, soulless, soulless. Like you just look at them, just talk to them. Like the moment you start talking about relationship, they die, they will ghost you. Like if you talk about hooking up, smashing, yeah, yeah, I want to do it. But the moment you say, hey, you know what, that's cool and all, but hopefully we can kind of see where this go. You know what I mean? Not the rush, nothing, but we just see, I want to be just more than just, a hookup. I want to actually have a relationship. Ghosts. Out of here. Out of here. So we're at a point now where, like I say, is at a wrap. It's either you get left in hell or you ascend to heaven. Because without love, there is nothing. People have children. You can have money, but if you don't have love, you don't have nothing. Period. If you don't have a conscience, if you don't have anything. Like prime example, you have people who might live in certain cities and certain places where it's like dog eat dog. Everybody got to be the gangster. Everybody got to be tough. Everybody got to play the role, and everybody can't be dog eat dog because why? If you dog eat dog, who's left to eat? There's no one left because everybody's the toughest. Nobody wants to turn the other cheek. Nobody wants to show love. Everybody got this guard up, and everybody just like, I don't have to abide by no rules. If you disrespect me, you do anything I don't like, I can just take your plate. I can just beat you up. I can kill you. Who's left? So also it's to keep order, to keep balance, and to keep people here, or just be utter chaos. And women represent chaos. Men represent the order. But it's supposed to be what, as they'll say in their elites, right? Order through chaos. But it's time for some order. All right, it's time for that. But yeah, and that's what, like I say, this all these things that from the internet, the Twitter, all these things that they're doing, a lot of it, the technology, all that, a lot of it, the black mirrors, all the stuff that uses, it has some kind of, witchcraft kind of connection to it. You know what I mean? I always use the term occult because occult can mean different things. I just like esoteric, but even the dark occult, whatever arts, are using to kind of open portals and keep people trapped in. That's why, like, so you talk to certain people, even the things they put in the food, the government put in the food, the pharmaceutical company, pharmakia means poisonous. You know what I mean? All of this stuff, even the spells, when you spell words, when you go in the courtroom and all this stuff, like it's to trap your mind, the government to govern your mind. So you have to break free. We have to break free from these chains. But you have the matrix, which is the Ma energy, the material Ma matrix, right? Women represent that on a certain plane. So you have women who work on behalf of, if those who know I'm talking about, the archons or the agents, to keep people, especially men, locked into this particular matrix because it's based off of Satan's kingdom, which is coming to an end. All right. So the only last leg. So you have women who are of this matrix who are working overtime, trying to keep, especially the men, to feed off the men's energy and to keep this matrix alive. But you can't do that at the same time and say, I don't need you, and still try to feed off of you. You feel me? It's like, if you don't need me, you don't need me. But once at work before, but men are waking up. So if you say you don't need a man, all right, don't expect me to show up. Or you want me to buy these free drinks and all this stuff, but then you want to choose a guy over me because he's a little bit taller or whatever the case. So I'm buying you drinks, I'm talking to you, whatever, and you curve all these guys just to pick the guy that doesn't want you, but you want him because he's at 1%. Those days are gone. Like, for real. Like, it's over. Either you coming at me and you with my program, or that's it. I'm not trying to impress you and all that. So, they're themselves. And one tried to warn you. You even had women who came along trying to warn you. You had Saza Ali in the 90s. You got sisters now putting it out there, putting a warning. So, hey, this matrix is gone. Live it up while it still lasts, because it's gone. Period. And what I'm saying, like, that all ties into monogamy. I saw a sister, I think she originally from Zimbabwe, but she lived in the UK. She went in. No fear, no nothing. I said it, I called her, I said, this sister has the spirit of Abraham and Sarah speaking through her right now. And she mentioned Sarah and Abraham in that video. And just talking about the state of women, calling out women in Zimbabwe, how they're the concubines, but I wouldn't say concubines, they're just the whores of Africa. Some guy had put out a report that women in Zimbabwe, no, that most men, like 1 or 2 men in Zimbabwe, are raising a child that's not their own. Let me say that again. Like one or two men, and one or two men in Zimbabwe are raising a child that is not their own. And they got rid of that guy real fast. I think he was like some scientist professor. They got rid of him real fast because that, like she said, that was going to shut the country down. That hold on, you got a good amount of men in that part of Africa are raising children that's not their own. But they had a similar report of that in Jamaica. As the saying goes, but mama's baby, daddy's maybe. But they want to talk about this oppression, this oppression, this oppression. Like you have dudes, like you had the woman who was mad that they cannot had a Roe versus Wade, they cannot do the surgery. Like I told in my last video, I'm not pro abortion and I'm not anti-abortion. And I got Numbers chapter 5 in the Bible is a reason for my view for not being pro-abortion or anti-abortion. Just read Numbers chapter 5 and you'll see why. Dealing with that. But you have women who, mad about that. Yeah, our bodies, you can't da. And I could take the choice. So you could take the choice and say, hey, I don't want to be a mother of this child. And I understand, like, if a woman was raped, I understand that. But outside of this, this hookup coach, I want to hook up and have this guy. I mean, have this sex with all these guys and have this baby. And even if the father wanted to have the baby, you could just, I don't care. I'm going to sacrifice him to Moloch. I'm going to take this baby out. But then if a guy doesn't want to pay for your child and all the other children that you have from different guys, he's bad, he's this, he's that. Or a guy should not, be able to say, well, I don't want to take care of those children. I don't want to be on child support. Well, I don't want to, pay for my child. What the heck? I don't want to do that. I want to be a father to my child. I want to raise them. I don't want to show them how to, hunt and how to fight and how to, have discipline and all this kind of stuff. I don't want to do that. You'll be mad. If a man doesn't even want to be a man, if a man doesn't even want to be manly, something's wrong with him. But the only way for y'all, some of y'all to say for y'all to be submissive or even feminine, if a man is man enough, then y'all can become feminine or submissive. Because, submissive kind of go along with femininity. Wow. And so what I'm trying to like say, but the sister went in about that and a lot of things, just how, monogamy is not our form of being, is not the black man. She said the title of the video was every black man deserved to have 2 wives. I said, God, I gotta watch this video. Every black man deserved to have 2 wives, at least 2 wives. And her reasoning was everything that I've said, I've been saying, want to hear in other ones too, right? And also she mentioned, like we've been seeing, more black men are not taking the monogamy pill, are not taking that blue pill anymore. Most black men and even women are saying, I want polygyny. This is how we live for thousands of years. This, monogamy is new to us. It's new to the world. It is. Like most cultures were polygynous, 1 man, 2 wives. And we understand, yeah, of course, polygyny is not for everyone, but it's just about for everyone. You get what I'm saying? Like it was a rare thing for a man to have just 1 wife most of his life. That was rare. And this is where we come from. Over here in the West with the native bloodline in the West and with the native bloodline over in the East in Africa. You feel me? Like this is how melanated people have lived. This is us. And it's our nature. The lions of Judah. Lions don't just have, you rarely see a lion with 1 lioness. A lion has a pride. That was part of pride. You have 2 or 3 lionesses. And they go hunt and they make sure that the lion who protects them eats first. Because if he's not strong, they're not strong. He has to defend the pride. So he has to eat first. That's why, you have women from like Puerto Rico, certain other places. They man come home for work, they make sure what he eats first, or if he's not there, they put his plate away so he can eat. But a lot of times, if he's there, they make sure he eats first because he's the head, he's your man. So any woman has an issue with her, they don't even like say husband. I had a woman, I told her, I said, yeah, your husband is your head, he's your master. So you like the Bible, and the sister mentioned how Sarah called her husband Lord, and he, as you daughters you are, right? And you have women who have an issue with that by calling their husband master or Lord. And I'm like, well, if he's your husband, he's your master, because that's what husband means in its etymology or definition. Now she just say, honey, honey. She don't even want to say husband, because that's what husband means. The head of household, the head. So if you have a husband and you're called by his name, then you have some people try to be slick. Well, we're not going to take on my husband name. We're going to break away from that patriarchal, oppressive tradition, and we're just going to take on her mother's maiden name, which her mother maiden name she got from her goddamn father. So you're taking on the name, a man, you're taking on the name of another man, you dimwit. But anyway, and she's taking on the her mother's father, her grand, anyway. So you can't get around it. Get in order or get left. That's it. Like I said in my other video about CERN, the portals, all this stuff like that. Oil through chaos. Chaos is good, but it's time to get some order with that. And like I say, when you take martial arts, fighting and anger is good, but you got to harness that. You got to be able not to let it control you, but you control it. Make the money, but don't let the money make you. So it's time for some balance. And the chaos helped to bring the balance in the universe. It helps. So all this stuff we see going on with the women and all this stuff like that, like I said, and monogamy is another form of witchcraft. It's demonic. So the woman could be first. She could be the head, right? She don't have to worry about or be put in her place to say that, hey, there's another woman here who could be in the picture. Let me get myself together. Let me keep doing the things I was doing to keep this man. All right. So she could just like, well, I don't have to give sex that much. Well, I don't have to submit that much. I don't have to, you feel me? She can play all these different games because, oh, he ain't going nowhere. So the thing that basically got her the man was the fact that you wasn't needy at first. You wasn't needy. You was, probably a player. You was just doing your thing. Now, when she got you, she wants you to only be with her. But she hates that, even though she likes it, but she hates that because she got a man who is catering to her every feeling, every vibe. You're scared to make her upset. You're scared to probably even tell her what to do because of, hey, big up, one love, one love. You're scared to tell her what she needs to hear. And that doesn't make women happy. That makes them really run away from you. So that's why these guys, they have a lot of issues with their wives. And not every guy in polygamy, I'm just, generalization, y'all, will have a lot of issues and problems because, you got a woman who is, who feel like, yeah, her man is not going anywhere. Or, she owns her man. You have women, and the sister in the video, she was saying how, like, men should just go ahead and just go get another wife. If you have a wife, go get your second wife. Make her, submit. And I said too, I'm like, well, that might work over there in Zimbabwe or the UK, but women over here, black women over here, kill your ass pretty quick. You had a woman who did that in Texas not too long ago. We had a guy, he was on his hospital bed, but he still was, had multiple women. Even had a wife, you know what I mean? And he basically told the woman he was with at the time that, hey, this is my woman right here, I'm in love with her. And y'all might have heard the story, but she got mad and shot dude and killed him. But she was saying, hey, don't fear these women. Go ahead, go ahead and do it. Don't fear them. Go ahead and do it. And that's what I'm saying. Like the monogamy in the Christian church have told women, and some of the stuff I'm playing even apply to certain trans women too, even certain ones of them. So the only thing I'm talking all about cis women. I'm talking about women in general, but some things I am talking about is cis women and trans women, right? But the thing that ones to feel like they're on your level, she feel like she's your equal, and women are your equal in spirit, but outside of that, she's not your equal when it comes to order, when it comes to authority, when it comes to the place in certain roles, right? She's not your equal. Women want to be equal to a man. But then if a man put hands on you, you're not equal. You see what I'm saying? See how this goes? Women want to be equal to a man, but when it's time to go be drafted in the military, oh, I'm a woman. But I thought we was equal. Like I say, certain people can't do certain things. You know, a lot of women will want, put like this, you know, if you have a job, or if you have even parents, you as a child, you can't tell your parents how many children they can have. Because what? You're called by them. They're not called by you. You get what I'm saying? You have different siblings. And that's why in polygyny we call it sister wife. Got a sister wife. You have different siblings. But you can never tell your parents. You might not want them to have anymore because you want to be the, you want to be the, the only child. You want to be spoiled. But you cannot tell your parents, they cannot, or they must listen to you and only say, no, you only got to have me. Because they brought you here. They are the head. They are responsible for you. Your husband is, you're not responsible for your husband. Your husband is responsible for you. So anything that happens to you, they're going to look at him and say, what happened? So this is why, and men and women look at sex differently. Men and women are affected by sex even differently. This is science, it's been proven, etc., etc. I had women that I've dated told me that, yeah, when I lay with that man, I never smoked a cigarette a day in my life. I started smoking cigarettes. Women say, yeah, I never drunk a day of my life drinking beer. I started becoming a drunk. So, sex is sexual energy is change. And sex can affect us men too in a way, but not to the same extent or level as it does for women. A lot of times women associate orgasm and pleasure with love, right? So women produce more oxytocin and then vasopressin, which is the bonding hormone during sex, the bonding hormone chemical, right? That makes her say, hey, we're in a relationship. So people can say, hey, I don't feel no feelings, I don't have no, I just have sex. No, your body, if you're a human, now, if you're not, I guess if you soulless, but I guess it won't apply to you. If you just a clone or something, I guess maybe it won't apply. But if you was born like everybody else, yeah, it applies. You're going to have sex and it's going to affect you. Well, men too. Men say, hey, that's my woman. Even though that's not your woman, that's your woman. That's why in the Bible and even in America, sex is marriage. Sex consummates the marriage. Your marriage contract is null and void unless you what? Consummated the marriage, unless you had sex. And this goes back to the Hebraic tradition and way. Like sex is the unification of the two becoming one. The two becoming one flesh. So you are one flesh. You are one body, but the head of that body is the man. I got two, arms, hand, but only one head. So that's what the women are. And some say the women are the neck. Help support it, help keep, but you still got the head. There's only one. You can only have one. One life, one love, there can only be one king. On the chessboard, there's one king. See what I'm saying? You can have, different, rooks, and you can upgrade to the other side and get, different. Those who play chess, you know what I'm talking about. You can get like a different, queen, different, so you can upgrade and get multiple rooks and all that, and bishops and all that, knights. But it's only one king. Okay? Prime example, you have some guys who might feel like, well, I do the polyamory, I do the polyandry, or we do the swinging thing. And I tell these guys, I said, man, I mentioned before about oxytocin, vasopressin. I said, that's not enough. And, they will admit to that too. I said, okay, if your wife, or they wouldn't have an issue with their wife having an OnlyFans. I said, and I had a debate with such as person, I ain't gonna mention their name, but I said, okay, you would let your wife have an OnlyFans. Okay, you would let her probably lay with other guys. Okay. You were the wife that you took, you gave your name to, right? You're responsible for it. You cool with that. And I said, and she's very valuable to you. Okay, all right. Value, all right. Give me your bank account information. Show me your private areas when it's concerning money. Give me your routing number, your bank account. Give me your social security. Give me your password. Give me all that. He wouldn't do it. But you would give me your wife. You would give many men your wife for money or just for pleasure. And a lot of guys, they're bisexual anyway. They paying say about they be hiding behind their woman. That's another video on that. But I'm like, yeah, but for the guys, either you're pimping or you just, you know what I mean? Something is you don't really value her like that. Like I said, men are possessive when it comes to sex. That's the vasopressin. Look it up. Oxytocin. We produce that too, but at a lower level. We produce more vasopressin. We become possessive and territorial. We are the husbandmen, the guarders of the earth, of the ground. Anybody know about the nation God's on earth? God's in earth, right? Like you just wouldn't let anybody come on your property and have your way with property. You would, you know what I'm saying, you would strike back. You wouldn't let anybody, come up there and just be like, oh, I can just, do this and do that with the woo. No, you're gonna like get off my property or we're gonna have a problem. You get what I'm saying? So how is it that we can value material or the physical things like that, but when it comes to the special union of the woman and man, because put like this, each time a woman lays with a man, she's breaking her marriage covenant, her bond. As long as that man lives, as long as her head lives, she belongs to that man. So each time she has sex, she's having a marriage to another man spiritually. So whatever you got on paper and all that, that's fine and dandy. But spiritually, she's not your wife anymore. She's saying that, hey, you're not my boss. As the Bible said, no man can serve two masters. So what make a woman think she can serve two husbands? I knew someone recently had two jobs. I told him, said, that ain't gonna work out. And then what happened? They said, I can't stand the supervisor, and the bosses over there. They started talking crap because this one over here was treating them better. So they had two bosses, two jobs, supervisors. And you know what happened? Had a big falling out, and they chose that one over that one. And it was a big falling out too. So you cannot serve two masters. And the woman purpose place is to be a helpmeet and to serve her husband. All right? He is the head. You're there to do, you got different employees, but it's usually going to be one boss for that job, for that corporation. It's going to be one head. There might be other, people in their positions and superior, but it's only one head. That's how it works. I say if you ever seen a person have a body, but they got like two heads on it, you ever seen that? How does that look? What goes on with that type of situation, with that type of person who's born with two heads? What happens? I've seen that. And it's not pretty. It's not. Born in such a way, it's not. So, people can live in a fantasy world, and that's cool because I myself, to a degree, live in a fantasy world, imagination, pineal gland, the spiritual, all that. But we're going to try to align that with some kind of, we're going to, just like the male and female, we're going to align this together. Women are oh yeah, I feel this way, and not logical. We're going to try to bring this together. We're going to try to unite. That's why you see the two triangles come together and form the hexagram. That's the spiritual, man going up, and this is, coming down heaven and uniting. Okay, so the fire, spiritual, man, water to heaven, coming and connecting. We gotta try to use that to avenge. I'm telling women it's okay to have emotions, to have this emotional viewpoint when it comes to sex and polygyny and just the world and dating and all that. But try to get some logic. And it's hard to get that if you don't listen to a man who's not just trying to get into your panties. Because what I might be saying might be hurting women because I'm not trying to get in your panties. I would like to if you're single, but I'm not pressed on that because I'm good. I got me a woman who follows me, listens to me, she submits, all that. She's down for she's down for my corporation, for my legacy. So I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about CERN. Okay? And men like that. So we're going to tell you how it is. Period. And it's for so the guy who only want to lay with you, he's not going to tell you this because, yeah, like you had one girl, and she took her Twitter down. Oh, when I told her this, and she was like, well, men don't care about the body count, right? Because she said she don't want a guy who's been with trans women, right? And of course we done heard this before, who's been with trans women, right? More than one trans, but she don't want the guy. I said the same thing could be said about women who have more than one guy. Yeah, she don't want a guy who have more than one trans women. Same thing could be said about y'all, these different guys. And she said, well, I haven't. She said she never had a problem with that. I said that's because the guys only want to have sex with you. I said, if they want a relationship with you, a serious relationship with you, yeah, it matters. And I showed her evidence of that. Like, no, this is how men view women with high body counts. All right. So we love it when we're trying to have sex. It just like I mentioned before, smash. Right. We're trying to smash, and we're trying to destroy you. And you love to destroy your soul and yourself to not be able to have any intimacy and bond because you gave all that your hormones and stuff out. But we're cool with that. But if we're trying to have a relationship with a woman, your body counts matter, especially if you're on video with multiple guys. That's a no-no on so many for so many reasons, right? And she took it. She took it. I ain't seen her no more because, yeah, it was the truth. Like she could not. It was like too much. She was like, yeah, for the first time probably in her life, she had a man that would tell her without any concern, any fear, because I wasn't pressed on getting her, this is how men view women. And it's crazy that you have a group of women who feel like, well, they're trying to date men or they want some kind of relationship, but they don't have to care about how we think. And you're going to lose. As men, we're taught, hey, we want to get a woman, you got to talk to her like this. You got to, have personality. You got to have game. You got to, do this, work out and this, that, and the other. They like men who are confident, who are not needed. All this stuff you have to remember. But when it comes to men, for the first time, somebody told her that men think like this. You could cry about it. You could laugh about it. You could charge it to the game and work on your game and get better. And stop what you're doing and do something different. Because doing the same thing over and over, looking for a different result, that's called insanity. If you've never heard that before, hopefully you have. You heard it here first. So we've known that. I had to take that approach to even get my wife. I couldn't deal with the same women over and over and look for a different result. So no matter how bad I wanted this and I wanted that, I want like a baby, I had to be a man and face that, this is probably not the route that God has for me to go. This is probably not the women that God has for me. So whether cis or trans, these are not the type. And here we are, 5 years later. So you have to take up that. You have to do that. And I tell women, I say, no matter, I had women come back to me, ones I dated cis and trans. I said, okay, well, you don't want to rock with me because, I'm polygynous, right? Okay. Obviously, I'll tell them no. But I said, guarantee you, if you're going to get a guy and he's a real dude or he has, alpha attributes about him, he's a stand-up dude, he's, about his business, you know what I mean? He ain't going to have this one woman. Guarantee you. If he's a woman that other women want, he's not going to just have just you. And just about all of them, maybe except one or two, have came back to me and said, you know what, everything you told me was the truth. You didn't lie to me. And of course, someone tried to come back to me, but hey, yeah, you had your chance. But yeah, like no. If you had ones even before they got with me, told me they was dealing with married guys. They was with a married guy for three or 4 years. Oh, he gonna leave his wife. He gonna do this and do that, and never did. But when it come around to the good brother or the brothers that you think is gonna really do good by you, oh, I can't rock like that. I can't do that. Nah, I can't. Oh no, right? You got even some women. They'll lay with a bunch of guys, hundreds of guys every night. But when they get married, every 2-3 months, every 6 months, whatever, they've been in a sexless marriage. But when nobody committed to them, when no man would say, I'm going to protect you, provide for you, be your leader, your guide, spiritually, financially, I'm going to do all this stuff, right? Help you when you're sick, all of this. Had no problem. Just about every night. And all those dudes, all he wanted to smash. No ring, no nothing. All he wanted to do was smash, having sex like it was nobody's business. Get married, maybe after a year or so after get married, after being married, they don't know what sex is. they don't know what sloppy is. They don't know what none of that riding, none of that. Like, wow. And what's that all about? And then don't worry about, like I said, then get mad if the dude have another woman. She's not keeping herself up. You know what I mean? She's not doing any of the things that she did in the beginning to get you. None of it. Just let herself go completely. And I ain't talking about weight because I like a big woman. I ain't, for me, that ain't. But like even as a big woman, like okay, you still, dress, certain way. You still dress to impress. You put the freaking dress on. You know what I'm saying? You do all that. Like I say, we don't have those issues over here. You know what I'm talking about? So it's all good. It's smile on my face. But you got husbands. They don't have a smile on their face. So they don't care. You know what I mean? They talk about his wife. He don't have a smile because she don't care. It's all about her. It's all about her. But also too, it's like I say. It's a carousel ride. The guys she was dealing with, they call it a carousel ride. The guy who was really gonna take her serious, she knows she don't deserve it. She knows she can't take that guy seriously because he takes her seriously. And I'm going to you could many examples of that. The whole Russell Wilson Sierra situation, that right there. Many, and I've seen it in my personal life. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. So intimacy turns her off because she doesn't have any intimacy left. All right. But then you have some women, they still got intimacy left. They just feel like I could use this witchcraft called monogamy and I don't have to do all this stuff with this dude. Because the other guys, they wasn't stopping to being with her. They was doing their thing. They wasn't really attached to anything. So, and that was a big turn on. These guys who are not going to stop and just have sex with her, they're going to smash her, go to this woman. They very highly sexually active and known. That's what it is. That's a turn on. That's good. She got an alpha, but this dude right here, he ain't no alpha. I ain't giving him nothing. You know what I'm saying? He will actually stop and just be with me. What kind of nigga? What kind of nigga do that? So it's levels of that. So some women is that, and some women is just like yeah, I got them, and some women is like she can't. No, the intimacy is a turn off, and that I've known from women I've dealt with. Prior certain women like that's a any form of just having a liking to her. You got one so bad. Not some of the young women. It's crazy. Like when you get in your 30s, man, the younger women come at you. Oh my God, the 20s they come at you. The ones you couldn't get when you was in the 20s, yeah, they coming at you. But the thing with them it's more of them. It's a smash. The moment you start talking about relationship, it's like or any type of form of relationship, is it's over. Even some of the older ones, a lot of them older ones like that too, around your age. But the young ones is like, more of them are just, nah. It's all about smashing. I got the money, so I don't really need all of that, relationship like that. They might not say it like to you, but you know what it is. You know what it is. And that's kind of scary because when they get in their 30s and they, you know what I'm saying, and they want the relationship and the guys you rejected and curved, ain't gonna be around. Because guys don't care about how much money you got. Because we, like dude said before, we know that money is not going to be for us. You're going to use that for yourself to say, I got this, got that. When men have money, okay, can I buy you a drink? Can I take you somewhere? Can I, we're going to share that. So you have ones, I ain't sharing my man. That's my man. But men will share our degree with you. We will share our finance. We will share our house with you. We will share our time. We will share a lot. We have to share a lot just to get one woman. Conversation. Jokes. Was that a good one? Punchline. All this stuff just to maintain and get one woman. Have to be grilled by the in-laws. Just to, especially when it comes to marriage. That's more marriage. But even just to get a woman, we have to come with so much. Have to share so much of things. But you got women who feel like, I don't have to, I'm not going to share. I'm not going to da-da-da-da. So, it not only with sharing your man, a lot of y'all don't want to share your money. You don't want to share your degree. It maybe help the man if he's going through a case in court. Just look at me. And at the same time, say I don't need that. I don't need a man. So how you going to press a guy that with that degrees and them cars when you say you don't need them? And like okay, well I'm not gonna get nothing out of that. So like either way, even if a dude was looking at that, like well I'm not gonna really get nothing out of it. You feel what I'm saying? Just gonna, dangle it over my head. But then when things happen, like equal pay and all that kind of stuff like that, or but you don't want to do the time that men do at work, but you want equal pay. You want to take days off and all this kind of stuff like that, but you want to get the same amount that men get, whatever. But yeah, like I said, man, that's it's so much forms of things that this society has put on the women, and have brought the women to church from the institution. So even the aunties, your mothers have brought ones up in witchcraft. Some women know what they're doing, some don't. I said a lot do know. They said they what they're doing, but it's some don't. That the things that you had taken on was a form of witchcraft. It was a form to keep the man from his place, so you could be out here and getting what you're getting right now, getting damaged. You have no protection, you have no guidance. You're just out here based off of emotion and not dealing with logic. Well, I'm gonna just walk in the street butt naked because I feel like it in some cold weather. So now you got chances of not only getting raped, you got a chance of getting frostbite. Because when the man was there telling, hey, put on the jacket, man, put on some clothes. I don't tell me what to do. I'm an independent woman. Oh, I got frostbite. They got to chop your head, to chop off your arm because you didn't want to listen. Just led by emotion, led by other single women who are led by emotion. No instruction headed for destruction, self-destruction. As the Bible says, or Isaiah 3 and 12, as for my people, knows Isaiah 3, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. They that lead thee cause thee the earth. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. They that lead thee cause thee the earth. We had a elder who was hit, knocked in the head in Philadelphia not too long ago by a group of teenagers, young, very young teenagers, preteens, that was out 2 o'clock in the morning. Hit the man in the head with one of them cones you see on the street. Hit him in the head, knocked him out cold, and killed him. Was beating him up. Thought it was funny and everything. It's all on video. And people asked, where were the parents? As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. They that lead thee cause thee to err. See, you didn't have things like this going on when men were taught to be men. Where men were in the household. Such a thing not only would be shunned, it would be even as a youth, as a young person, the idea, the thought to even do something like that wouldn't even cross your goddamn mind. It wouldn't even cross your mind. And as in the Apocryphal book, it says that even one should give birth to monsters. And the Apocryphal, y'all know that was part of the books that were left out of the Bible, the 84 books that was in the First King James in 1611 was taken out. But anyway, it's 14 books, so the Bible I think really was like 84 in total, but it was like 14, 13 books that was taken out. So yeah, the times we're in, all right, the times we're in. We have a group of young people out here who walk around soulless, no direction, no guidance, etc., etc. They don't know themselves. They don't know what works. And I tell our people we got to get back to nature. As cis people, trans people, as many of the people, we have to get to the nature of things. People can say they don't want a hurricane. Here come the hurricane. People say they don't want this, they don't want. The best thing you can do is be prepared for nature. So you tell women, hey, this is what men are going to do. Be prepared. As me, as a man, I knew having a woman that certain things that women just do. That's just what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I gotta, so even though it might irritate me sometimes, I realize that I know I have to, that's what women do. Women, all you say one thing, women hear another. That's just what y'all do. All right? And other just things that y'all just do. You know, if women, when women feel like they look good, they just feel good. That's therapy for women. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You just know a woman's nature versus how she was nurtured and her nature. And you know how to divide that. So relationships is hard as it is, but you have to relate to be able to go in that ship together. The love boat. You have to, you have to do that. Women have to talk to men outside of just smash and get the real deal. Because this is what's going on. This is what's happening in this man's mind. When you say stuff like "I don't need a man," he's okay. Well, you don't need a man, so I mean, I'm not going to take you seriously because you don't need a man. Don't expect me to buy these drinks. Don't expect me to, like you don't need a man. So I mean, that's why you single. I'm gonna leave you just like how you said you would. Just certain things. Well, I wasn't that really attracted to you, or you broke and this that. Like certain things you just don't say to men. Just like men know certain things you just don't say to women. Women even hate to be compared to other women. It's certain things you just know when you're talking to a woman that people teach you what and what not to say. But what has people taught the women what to and what not to say to their men? What you should never say to a man. And we are the head by nature. Regardless of what we was told, regardless of what we was taught, regardless of the misinformation, we are the head. So how do we feel? How do we think? But it don't matter. Just get your little two fingers, do your little vabbing, put your little sin on, you know what I mean? Do your little thing and attract them. Have them going crazy, using your witchcraft. So you don't have to submit. You don't have to show any submission to that man in order to get him. You could just put something on and that'll get him. You don't have to have any intimacy, any type of skills, because you are the table. You don't have to bring the table because you are the table. Like, come on. And that's why, people, certain ones don't want you. Like, why? Like, I know I have to bring something, so what do you have to bring? But like I said, so bad, you used to just be able to just bring your booty, your titties, and a pretty smile. And that was enough. Now you got to, do all this extra stuff and all this extra BBLs that you don't need. I mean, if you need it, okay, yeah. But you got women who don't really need it like that, and especially those certain cis women don't need it because all you gotta do is eat some food, and do some squats here and there. You good. That's it. Might do a little bit of sit-ups. You don't have to get like no flat stomach because I'm not crazy about no flat stomach. Certain men who are not crazy about that. But you don't have to. But yeah, just do enough right there, and all of it go in the back. You feel me? And I used to work out like a mug, so I know how to get physiques and stuff like that. So that's all you gotta do. Shoot, okay? Get them thighs, get them legs. You get your quads, your hamstrings. You got the curls you could do with your legs and stuff, but you kind of like turn around and lay down, and you just lift your leg up, lift the weight. Yeah, you get a weight bench. It's a lot of stuff, and you get squats and do them, and get you some little dumbbells. Maybe 20-pound and higher, however you could weight. And just do some squats and some box squats, all that. Lift that up. And there's certain things you can put on your body and wear that can kind of shape and all that. But all this, putting stuff in your face and I mean, like I say, and some women just do too much. But I mean, if you need to, I mean, that's cool. But if you got women who don't, they just, and that's not gonna keep no man. Period. Like I said, you had women who will come at you and say something about, well, your wife don't like this, or this wife don't like, or you had a guy who's a white guy, his wife's a BBW, and they was a white and everything, and people was getting mad. Had one woman get mad that she said to the president, like, oh, well, women could just be fat and still think they could do. Different cultures anyway. I'm from the South, and men from the South of the Caribbean, that's all. That's most women we date anyway. Second, men don't give a fuck about that shit, man. Like, real talk, can you submit? Can you cup up your titties? Can you walk around like you a woman with dignity and you have an honorable title that I'm giving you? All right? That's what we care about. All this, fat, skinny. Do you look good to me? And can you carry yourself? You got all these tattoos with showing your breast tattoos, showing other men. You're around here doing this, doing that. I'm going to go over here when I feel like it. I'm gonna catch all these different attitudes for nothing at all, etc., etc., etc. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do polygyny. I don't want to, hell, you don't want to do monogamy. Shit, you don't want to do nothing. You just want to be to yourself. We want somebody who down for the team. She can have the fattest ass in the world, and we'll smash. But that's not for the long run. We're not we don't care about that when it comes to wiping you up. That's not the main issue. And we love sex. Men love, sex is definitely on the menu. But when we're talking about making you our wife, if you just want to be a concubine or something like that or whatever, okay. Even as a concubine, you still got to, be with the team to an extent. You still got to have, some kind of certain beliefs. You don't want to have a concubine who's a witch. Doing some hoodoo type of, you know what I'm saying? You don't want that. If you not, if you are, I guess it would make sense. But if you're a man who's not, you got to kind of at least be affiliated with the clique, right? Even to be a concubine. But when it comes to a wife, definitely got to be sacrificing time, submission all the way, down with the program and all that, and you get more benefits and stuff. But you got to show that consistency. You got to be, oh, well, one day, I'm hot on this dude, and, a couple of months later, I'm like, yeah, and, act ghosting and acting crazy, or just not doing things that you did before, even if you're still talking to a dude. So, yeah, that's what dudes looking at. Dudes looking at consistency. And who gonna pull up? Right? Who gonna show up? When you know what I'm saying? When you act like you sick or you need somebody, is she gonna be like, oh well, she gonna move on and she gonna still be there supporting you down? That's what it's about. Because you can't buy that. You could buy a woman with a fat ass. You could buy a woman with a pussy, or with an ass pussy. But to buy, excuse my language, but to have a woman who's down for you, you cannot buy that. To have a friend, even a friend. Forget even a friend that's down for you. In these days and time, you can't buy that. That's hard to come around. It's easy to come around women with some big titties and breast tattoos and tramp stamps and all. That's the dime a dozen. You can get that without even paying for it. It's so you can hit porn stars. You can do a lot of stuff without even paying. Anyway, yeah, that ain't shit. That's nothing. But to have a woman who will show up when no other woman will, and will continue to show up. And to have women, polygyny, have women who will show, who be down for you. They don't care about no other dude's game. They don't care about no other dude's car. They don't care about no other dude's house. It's your blueprint. Your blueprint is their blueprint. Your pain is their pain. Their pain is your pain. Y'all together, y'all one. They understand that. I'm meant to be with this man. I'm meant to be with these women. We were meant to be together. That's what it's about. God put us together. And what God put together, let no man or woman put us under. So witchcraft, any weapon formed against thee shall not prosper. So that's the reverse on that curse that these women doing today. And so, yeah, man. So bonfire upon this vabbing, whatever they want to call it. Vabbing. All right. The heck with that. Yeah, you can't control the men. The men are waking up to the matrix. You know what I'm saying? It's that time. Like I mentioned, CERN portal, like the heat is rising. People's consciousness is rising. And anybody with this old, oppressive, destructive, demonic paradigm is finished. It's finished. It will not work. That old witchcraft, that old magic, that old God, all that stuff is withering away. All right? Period. It ain't even working. It ain't even working. God dang it. It's not even working. So, what's next? They're going to cut the booties off and put it on their face to attract the man now? I don't know, like take the BBL off and say, hey, because might not look at that no more. I don't know. But yeah. But like I said, if you put God in your life, you won't have to worry about that. You witch, you won't have to worry about that. So yeah. That's all I'll say. I had to say right here about that. And James Speed, I'm out, and y'all be good. And yeah. Shalom.